Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. I'm Christine. I'm glad you're here. Welcome to a SCENTSY video with drastic changes announced by the CEO of the company. It looks like SCENTSY is one of those MLMs together with iGenius, Monate. We will see what other companies are joining us. They're Young Living apparently as well, who are not doing well, and they have to make changes to their compensation plan, to a lot of the benefits that they offer their sales force. And SCENTSY is one of those companies that is not doing well because the CEO just recently announced that there will be some changes coming their way. But ever since the CEO was on this call, a lot of things have happened. It has been announced that SCENTSY had to lay off a lot of people from their corporate side. So for example, they did shut down a warehouse, and I assume that a lot of the layoffs were connected to one of the warehouses shutting down. And then on top of that, in the video, we will speak about those changes starting on March 1st. But because there was already so much feedback from the distributors, people leaving, people being unhappy, really questioning the company, they have decided to push this back now to April 1st. Just like Young Living, they also have changes happening on April 1st, April Fool's Day, and Tony Van Choik, Monate's first market partner ever, is going to launch her own company, very likely also on April 1st. So this will be interesting, an interesting year. And now we're going to take a look at the CEO of SCENTSY discussing the changes or presenting the changes to his sales force. I will speed this up a bit because he speaks very, very slowly. I will stop as we go along, and then in upcoming videos, I will also show you what impact this announcement had on some of the people who are regular salespeople, regular distributors, who are mostly in it just for the products, what an effect that has on them, and also on the top people, what effect it has on them. Let's just say that the top people are currently gaslighting their teams galore, trying to secure their own paycheck. It is interesting to see this is the next company that is struggling. So let's get into the call.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our special Zoom invitation. It's great to have you here. I'm doing a Zoom from our leadership and right after some changes that we made. So we wanted to make sure that we were able to connect with you and be able to share some of that insight and context of the reasons why we're making the changes, as well as answer lots of the questions that have come in. So let me first start off by welcoming you to the Zoom call, whether you're listening live or you are listening to this as a recording. It's great to have you. Thank you for investing your time into finding out a little bit more. I'm hopeful that the context and some of the reasoning why, and also the potential will help in answering lots of your questions and prepare us all for what's to come. Now, in my Zoom, I'm on the video. I'm going to be sharing the context that I gave our leadership group here. So you'll have the same context that they just received.
So much to network marketing companies being even playing fields. It is a ridiculous hierarchy in those companies. There's always something that has to be discussed with the leaders first before the entire field gets to learn what is happening. The leaders have nothing to offer to corporate. Yes, they have the biggest team, but ultimately those changes are something that has affected the company, the distributors, but the leaders need to know that first. Probably trying to get them to explain to their downlines why it is important to stay in the company despite changes that are very likely not good for them, but it's not an even playing field. It's a ridiculous hierarchy. The people with the biggest teams, and then you have the rest. We see this over and over again in network marketing companies.
In this room with me, I have Deb Bowden. She's helping administrating the Zoom call. I also have Chuck. He's helping me as well. And what we have done, just so we can stay in this flow of giving context and even some data and some numbers. I hope that's okay. I'm kind of a numbers geek a little bit, but it provides extremely important insight into what's happening with SCENTSY, what's happening, with the industry really, and it highlights what we need to focus on. So I'll be sharing some of those things with you as well for your questions. And we've received quite a few via Facebook or individually. So keep those coming in. You can use the Q&A option in Zoom to enter in your questions as we go. We'll be watching that. Plus, I've gathered lots of questions over the last couple of days to make sure that I can give answers as I go through this presentation. I will be sharing a PowerPoint because some of these things I need to show you pictures of, and I think that makes the most sense to do that with. So we'll go that way. So let me go ahead and share. Fantastic. Okay. All right. Once again, thank you.
What a presentation.
That I want to mention. I realize, change is a big deal, and we don't take it lightly. We've spent a lot of time over the last few months, up to 6 months, in a discovery mode and looking at our numbers, looking at our trends, looking at the behaviors of what's happening out in the market. We're in 14 different countries, and we are seeing a lot of similarities between the countries. And also, like I mentioned, some really key, insightful data that really highlights the areas that we really need to focus on, and turn the direction we're going in around. That's what it comes down to. So first, let me go ahead and start talking a little bit about really the industry and where SCENTSY is, mostly giving context to the state of the business and what is going to be crucial for you, your teams, and SCENTSY here in 2025. So let me go ahead and get to that here. So let me start talking about momentum. Momentum is fundamental to direct selling. It's either growing or that momentum is declining. And recently we've seen a decline in momentum really across just about every single direct selling companies. And if I look at that and see what and how people have responded, I know you've seen it as well, but there has been some pretty significant changes for some companies. Some companies have either changed their business model, gone more single level or affiliate model. Some have sold to private equity firms. Some have different financial situations where they have commitments to banks or investors that require them to make certain changes. And others have even closed. So it's not something that has been a bright spot for sure.
No, the MLM business model is in decline. Saint Beauty has shut down their recruitment model, so has Beachbody, so has Rodan and Fields. And in this year, one MLM in 25 has already shut down. So it's not looking good. And that's why the companies have to make changes if they want to continue to make a profit.
For the industry. And I realized that it's not hard to project that same kind of thought process as SCENTSY's in the direct selling market, in that same industry. And when it's happening all around us, it's hard not to believe, okay, this is what's happening when we have a contraction as well. But one of the things I wanted to make sure I told you, and I wanted to be very clear on and clear up right now, is SCENTSY is taking a different path. We are doubling down on the direct selling fundamentals rather than changing our business model. We are focused on supporting you and your teams and your efforts to be active, to sell, to recruit, and promote. And as long as you are all in, we are all in. That's our commitment. We want to help you. We want to support you and be successful as a team.
As long as you are all in, we are all in. Yes, because he needs the distributors. Otherwise, they wouldn't have a company, because it's based on network marketing. It's kind of to put pressure on the people. Hey, you haven't been all in, so let's change that, because we want to continue to give you a job here. But you need to do more. That's what I'm hearing from this.
Together. And the fact of the matter is, we are in a decline. Things are coming down. It's not the ideal situation where we are growing, but we are in a contraction mode. And right now, and even though we are still in the black, we're still profitable. Things may be getting a little bit thinner, but we are still in the black and happy about that. We are in a good place to respond with you and focus on building hope and momentum.
You're not building hope and you're not building momentum. You try to keep the company afloat. If they're, according to him, still in the black numbers, that means that the corporate side is still making somewhat of a profit. That isn't true for the distributors. Most of them will lose money. We don't have an income disclosure statement from SCENTSY that is split up via the individual ranks, but it is the same thing in all the network marketing companies. So corporate is still able to make a profit, and they want to continue to keep it like that, because they're actually in charge of the company. They're actually owning the company. He is the CEO of the company. The owners, the actual co-founders and owners of the company, they're currently abroad. They're overseas on a mission trip. They are of the Mormon faith, and it is not uncommon that people who are already older, if their children are independent, that they will go on another Mormon mission. And that is what Heidi and Orville are currently doing, the actual owners of the company. And they need to do something to not shut SCENTSY down.
Speaking of hope and momentum, let me share with you a quote that I came across that I really appreciate here. There we go. People speak of hope as if this is delicate, ephemeral thing made of whispers and spiderwebs. It's not. Hope has dirt on her face, blood on her knuckles, the grit of cobblestones in her hair, and just spat out a tooth as she rises for another go. If I look at that quote, and I came across it as I was preparing all of these changes, knowing that we need to introduce it to all of you and give you the context, it's hope is something that isn't something that you sit back and it's just given to you. We're going to have to work hard. We're going to have to work together. And I know that as we do, and we put forth the work, we're going to build that hope.
Yeah, but you're not building hope. That is also such an odd quote. Let's not forget, SCENTSY sells wax bars, wax warmers. It's about scented stuff. And he's talking about dirt on the face, blood on the knuckles, on her face. So of course it's a girl or it's a woman. And they also have to spit out teeth. Yep, that's totally what a very, very legitimate business would do, to share that kind of quote.
Which is so critical at SCENTSY. Now, it's not done automatically, like I mentioned. And a great place to start talking about SCENTSY and talk about the hope is our foundation, our 3 core values of simplicity, authenticity, and generosity. It is these core values that really has built SCENTSY. It's unique, and it takes what is otherwise just a transactional relationship between a buyer and a seller, and it makes it to something special, something transformational, something that we can feel contributes to people's lives.
Why, though, if it's supposed to be a business, just get customers to get their hands on the products and the people who sell the products get a cut of that? They get a commission. Why does this have to be something transformative yet again? It can just be a transaction. As a customer, I don't want a network marketing hun attached to my booty if I want to get a product. That is rather painful. And I guess in this day and age, it's also not up to date anymore. And one of the reasons why network marketing companies are failing.
And helps them be their best selves. And when we double down on our motto of contributing more than we take, we strengthen those relationships we strive to build. We are a family-friendly business opportunity that brings value to the world, which is really SCENTSY's aspirational why. And we talk about why being so important because that's what makes direct selling, that's what makes SCENTSY so different, is that it is aspirational, that we can help others bring value to their lives, to change the trajectory of where they are and what they want to become.
Yeah, and SCENTSY is doing a piss poor job at this. If this was really about family, why are the actual owners, Heidi and Orville, not there? They couldn't jump on this call. They're not able to do that. If it's about family and a family member is not doing well, family is there, but they're not. They're leaving that to the CEO of the company to announce bad news, and he seems to be very uncomfortable.
At a more simple level, and what makes SCENTSY and differentiates ourselves from box stores and e-commerce is that we can provide a level of customer service and connection to our customers and to our team members that far exceeds that simple relationship that is felt from selling a product. You get to provide and make connections to people at a whole new level. And that's what continues to separate ourselves from other businesses.
Yeah, but not in a good way. Once again, why do I want exceptional customer service and predominantly unpaid for salesforce to explain to me smelly wax cubes? Just give me the product and leave me alone.
And other directs from other e-commerce and buyers and seller situations. And each time we do this, when we focus on our core values, when we lean into contribute more than we take, we are able to achieve an unprecedented hope, an unprecedented level of momentum and engagement. And that's something special. That's where I wanted to start to build from as we have that common goal, that common source of why we are part of that SCENTSY family. It's something special and something that I would never, ever want to forget. Now, even with those core values, even with our motto of contributing more than we take, our momentum has faltered. Those reasons are both out of our control and some of them are within our control. But it is so important that we rebuild that momentum here at SCENTSY for you, for the home office, to support you in all of your goals that you want to achieve. And as we did this, we identified 4 focus areas, the most important areas to focus on in 2025. And these are, number 1, new customer acquisition. Okay, new customer acquisition, meaning new eyeballs or new customers coming into SCENTSY. This is the number 1 thing. The most important thing in 2025 is getting new customers into SCENTSY. Okay. Secondly, it's customer engagement. You know, once you have that new customer, you want to follow up, you want to make those connections, you want to make sure that they're enjoying the SCENTSY products and making sure that you can help them with any need that they may come across. Thirdly, the third most important area is new consultants and having them join your team. Interestingly, number 3 and number 4, consultant engagement, those are really met and satisfied by the first 2. When you have new people coming into SCENTSY and they have that first experience of the SCENTSY products, which is incredible. And if you're on this call, I know that you love SCENTSY, you love fragrance. You know that if you can get that fragrance in front of someone, they truly can enjoy that.
This is very, very odd. The heartbeat of a network marketing company is not the customers, it is the consultants. Consultants are also the best customers, but he's focusing very much on customers, which is telling me that SCENTSY is currently very likely testing out Who is more valuable to the company? We need to get new customers and we need to engage with the customers. New customers need to get their eyes on SCENTSY's products. So that tells me that the corporate side wants to test out the customer side, what it could be like if they have to shut down the network marketing part of SCENTSY. And that is why you get new customers and new eyes on the products, because the essential thing are, of course, the consultants. But if SCENTSY decides that they actually want to sell the products independently of a network marketing model, independently of an affiliate model, maybe they want to go the affiliate route, then they, of course, need customers. And if currently the few but still the best customers are the consultants, and they shut down the network marketing part of the business, a lot of people will be out. So that is interesting, because for network marketing companies, the customers are not the essential part. It is the distributors. The customers are important people in the sense that you get them in and then you try to recruit them. And especially in SCENTSY, a lot of people have specialized on exactly that. But the essential part are the consultants, not the customers. So that's interesting. It could be that they're testing out how to get a hold of new customers in case they do want to shut down the network marketing side. That's what I get from this.
By following up and having that unique, authentic relationship with those customers, you create those opportunities, those aha moments of, I can do this. I want to partner with SCENTSY, which leads to number 3 and number 4 here in our focus areas. I will circle back to these 4 focus areas as I go throughout today. And before I talk more about them, I want to kind of explain SCENTSY's responsibility in all of this. When I say SCENTSY and point to myself, I mean home offices. So if I just went through the 4 key areas that we would like you to focus on and we want to support you in the 4 that I just mentioned, let me explain what we are focused on here at the home office as stewards of SCENTSY, the company. We are responsible for ensuring the company is healthy to make sure we can support all of you. We evaluate our products, our programs. We monitor and react to trends and behaviors and changes and make those changes necessary to support your team to be successful. And while, like I said, we are profitable and in a good position, we must strengthen our position right now and create an opportunity to build momentum. Throughout history, we have learned that together, by living our culture and focusing on these fundamentals, we can overcome really any challenge, anything that comes our way. I mentioned I was going to share some data, so get ready. I hope this is okay. I will be sharing it in these PowerPoint slides so you can get a taste and a sense of why the 4 areas I just mentioned are the most important for us as a company. So let me first share a couple of numbers that just gives us a common ground to talk from. So the very first one that I want to show you is this. This is a little look into our total number of current consultants. Right now, we have 154,000 current consultants worldwide. 58% of our consultants place an order in any given month. So out of the 154,000 consultants, 58% of them will place an order.
That just shows that the consultants are also the best customers. And they don't even have 160,000 of those worldwide. That is really, really bad. But they're the ones who purchase the products, who place an order, and they have a lot of inactive people. Interesting.
In a given calendar month. Okay. This is just to give you a little reference. Let me keep going and explain this next slide. Of those 154,000 orders, 154,000 consultants, 25% of them place an order of 200 PRV or more. Okay, 25% place an order in a given calendar month of at least 200 PRV or more.
No wonder that SCENTSY is not doing well. If the distributors are also the best customers and only 25% are able to be over their required PRV, then it's quite obvious that SCENTSY is not doing well. And a lot of people don't want to spend a lot of money on the products anymore. And in that sense, you're able to get a higher commission, but not a lot of people are. Well, maybe don't recruit all your customers if you want to avoid that. Just a tip.
Just some insight, setting the ground and a common ground of understanding of kind of what it's looking like so far at SCENTSY. Let me keep going because the information I want to share now gives you a little bit more of an insight into what trends are happening overall at the macro or the combined level. This first one is a line chart here. This is giving us a look at the average ordering customer, unique customer per consultant for the last 6 years. Averaging ordering customer or unique customer per consultant. So in a given year, if I looked at 2018, the very first year in this, I can see that number is about 17. So in 2018, there were 17, on average, 17 unique customers per consultant ordering in 2018. In 2024, we know that number has gone from 17 down to 10. Okay, so a lot fewer number of unique customers are ordering through consultants in 2024 compared to 2018. Okay, hopefully you're following me so far.
Yeah, it's not that hard. Does he think that his distributors are stupid? Come on. What they don't recognize or what they don't openly say is that why was 2020 their best year? Because the product hit a nerve and the consultants were doing the most. What happened in 2020? Can we acknowledge why network marketing companies did well in 2020? Because network marketing companies were actually thriving during the pandemic. Even those who were already on the downward spiral got a push because during the pandemic, lots of people were looking for an alternative way to make money, and a lot of people were at home. Everything was shut down, so you didn't have a lot to do. So the business opportunity and the product seemed more interesting than it would under other circumstances. And that was the peak in 2020. And ever since then, we're on the downward spiral. But if those numbers are correct, it is stagnant, and it has been stagnant since 23. Maybe they're also trying to make those numbers look better, because in 24 it could have gone down even lower when we're talking about the ordering of customers. I would be interested to see what happens in 25. But the reason why we see a chart like this is because of the pandemic and because network marketing companies cannot recreate the pandemic. Network marketing companies have been on the downward trend ever since the pandemic. And the pandemic pushed some of those that were already struggling before, and now they're seeing the after effects. It is kind of the industry or the world or consumerism regulating itself. Most people don't want to support network marketing companies anymore, and they don't want to buy those products.
I know I'm just going to share a few of these data points, but they're extremely important to paint the picture of what is happening at SCENTSY. Okay, let me go to the next slide. Next one is even more interesting, I think. Average number of new customers per consultant per year has gone from 11 in 2018 to just 4 in 2024. Let me say it one more time because this is really important. One of the key things, and if you remember, this is the #1 focus area that we need to address. It is new customer acquisition. If I look at 2018, you can see that it is 11 new customers per consultant in 2018. In 2024, happens to be same in 2023, but in 2024, per consultant on average, there were only 4 new customers in 2024.
Yeah, and why is that? Because there are top people in the company who are bragging that they have pretty much recruited all of their customers. So all of the people who just want to get their hands on the actual products are now consultants because they can get their hands on the products with a discount. Or they can work towards certain benefits, or they can work towards getting the product themselves by also selling products and recruiting people. That is the chart of a company that has recruited most of their customers. And that, of course, is not helpful if you potentially need to go back to an actual retail customer-based business model. Interesting. Just have a customer program where the customers can get their hands on the product. And a lot of people do like SCENTSY products. That is why they became customers, and that's why they got recruited into SCENTSY, because somebody said, hey, you can get the products for less, you can get them, well, not at a discounted price necessarily, but there are certain perks and I can fill you in. So if you really like these products, there's a cheaper way for you to get your hands on this. And this is the picture of that process. But now it means that SCENTSY doesn't have a lot of customers anymore because their customers are also their consultants.
This is big. This is why it is #1. Let me show you a couple of other graphs because these also help create this picture that I'm trying to do with all of you today. So this next slide here shares with you the average PRV per consultant per year for the last 6 years, just like the previous 2 slides. Average PRV per consultant. In 2018, you can see it's just above 2,000. For the entire year, on average, for all consultants worldwide, just above 2,000. You can see the chart in their pandemic years, we spiked up, definitely had an impact there. But if you look at 2024, you can see that we're actually about the same level of average PRV per consultant in a given year as it was in 2018. Interesting. I find it interesting. Okay. This is interesting because as we just reviewed, total unique number of customers ordering through a consultant is going down, and new customers are going down, but PRV per consultant has remained same. They remain the same. All right. Another slide. This one is a little bit different. This one is average party order count per consultant per year. Okay. So total number, think of it as the total number of parties given in a single year. In 2018, you can see that it is 5, right around 5. You can see that it spiked up through the years. In 2024, that number really has more than doubled since 2018, putting us at about 12. From 5 to 12. Are you following along with this in your head? I'm going to share and compare 2 of the slides because we wanted to make more sense of this. And what I did is I put 2 slides together. The average PRV per consultant, that one that remains the same from 6 years ago to today, which is about 2,000 PRV per consultant per year. And if I look at the average number of party orders in count, we know that it has doubled. Why do you think that is? Why do you think we have been able to double the number of parties, but yet the average PRV has remained flat? Well, I think that's a very interesting question. We asked leaders this at our retreat that we are on now.
Why is he asking the leaders? Why is he asking his own independently contracted sales force? He's part of the corporate side of SCENTSY. He has access to all of this data. They have been able to track this ever since. This is not new. They have the data ever since 2018. What is your idea? You're running the company, and what is your solution? Maybe that's a way to go about this.
They came up with some good answers. And what it has come down to as we've dug deeper into that is that it's easier to qualify for a party given the higher priced items that SCENTSY has to offer and the variety of products that SCENTSY has to offer. In fact, we have one product that if you just add that to an order, it qualifies for a party already. So it's easier to qualify for a party with fewer items. The other big thing that we notice is that consultants are choosing to host the parties and combining the orders to qualify for those parties. So as soon as it qualifies, they close the party and they're all set. And as consultants, as host, they're able to maximize their host rewards, which is just fine, to close out those parties.
Yeah, and why is that? Because SCENTSY is lacking customers, actual customers, because you recruited pretty much all of your customers and they're not consultants. And now the consultants have to throw the parties to try to get new eyes on the products. And they're doing that in this party planning business by throwing parties and trying to sell the products and then the business opportunity to new people.
Here's one interesting fact. I don't have a data slide for it, but did you know 70% of all parties have a consultant as the host? Another link that I make as I look at this, knowing that the total number of unique customers ordering with a consultant and the total number of new customers coming into SCENTSY has rapidly declined, that we have a problem with getting new people into SCENTSY. We have a problem finding new customers and introducing them to SCENTSY. And part of that is because our systems and our programs have made it simple for a party to qualify. It's also the reason why the number one and key area is finding new customers. Let me give you an example, and I think this will help hopefully bring this home for you on the importance of bringing in new customers. I wanted to come up with a good example, and at SCENTSY, and definitely...
If this were a legitimate business and a legitimate retail customer-based business model, he wouldn't have to explain to his sales force how important customers are. Are we hearing this? Okay.
For your businesses, there's lots of ways to build at SCENTSY. A lot of people build through parties, whether it's home parties, online parties, virtual parties, basket parties, traveling parties. Doesn't matter to me. Those are ways that people have built businesses. Some have done it through social media. Some have done it through fairs and shows, et cetera, et cetera. There isn't a wrong way to do it, but there is a right way to maximize your ability to add customers into SCENTSY. For this example, I'm going to use a party because I think that is the easiest way for me to emphasize the important characteristics of a party. So picture this. Picture myself. Let's wipe your mind clean of SCENTSY. You don't know SCENTSY at all. And I'm going to be the consultant, and I'm going to be at your friend's house who invited you over to have a SCENTSY party. Again, this is an example that helps me illustrate the importance of these characteristics of a party that can be done in many different ways, but easy to explain in this example. So again, I'm the consultant. Hello, I'm Dan. I'm a SCENTSY consultant. You don't know about SCENTSY, but you are at a friend's party, a SCENTSY party. Now, if I am the host and I'm taking over this party and I stand up and I say, trust me, you have to purchase Luna. It is the best smelling fragrance that we have. And then if I would like to ask you by show of hands, and I did this at the leadership group, and I said, by show of hands, how many of you would have bought a Luna from me, who you probably don't know as a SCENTSY consultant, ask you and tell you it's my favorite fragrance, please buy it. How many would you buy? How many of you would buy it? And there was a few that raised their hands at leadership. And I'm guessing some of you may buy it as well. But think about this. If I change that scenario, while I may still be the consultant, and it's your friend who's hosting the party, and they tell you that this is the best fragrance SCENTSY has to offer. You have to buy it. How many more of you would buy it from a friend rather than an unknown SCENTSY consultant? Many, many more. Just one example of emphasizing the importance of having a host or a non-consultant host or a non-consultant person that is able to introduce SCENTSY to their friends and their contacts.
Yeah, that doesn't necessarily make sense. Make it make sensey. The joke never gets old, in my opinion. Make it make sensey. None of this makes sensey so far. Why would I purchase? More likely from a friend of mine, if they shove a smelly wax under my nose. They have samples there at those parties, and I will smell it and I think, okay, it smells very, very strange to me, whether you're a salesperson for the company or whether you're my friend. If I don't like the scent, if it's not vanilla flavored or a subtle hint of flowery scent, then I will not buy it from you. It doesn't matter if you're a stranger, a SCENTSY consultant, the CEO of the company, or my best friend. If I don't like the scent, I will not buy it. It's that simple. Now, I am very likely more inclined to join one of those horrible parties. It sounds horrible, but I might be more inclined to join if a friend invites me. But if it's about buying smelly stuff, I buy the stuff that I like because it smells nice. It doesn't matter who recommends it to me. It can be of your opinion that this is the best scent on planet Earth. If I don't like it, I won't get it, no matter who you are.
Because not only is it a built-in trust with that person, but it also opens up the opportunity for that non-consultant to introduce friends and contacts to you as the consultant. It's an incredible relationship. And as you amplify your efforts through others, whether it's a party, whether it's social media or other ways, when you use those key critical tools that you're able to amplify your efforts through others, you'll be able to increase your sales and referrals. You're able to look more long-term than short-term and really key in on what's most important, especially right now, is bringing new customers into SCENTSY. Okay, let me keep going. There was a quote that I came across from one of our leaders that I really enjoyed. It's a long one. It's on your slide right now, but there was two areas that I wanted to kind of point out. This is from a leader that has made it to the very top of our compensation plan and in title to superstar director. And as she was thinking and reflecting on her SCENTSY business, she was thinking, what was it that I did? What was it that made SCENTSY take off for me?
Yeah, recruiting a lot of people. Superstar director is also a horrible, horrible name. A lot of companies like Monat, for example, they try to give their ranks. That's just the name of the rank. It doesn't hold any worth or any value outside of those network marketing companies. Monat has tried to give their ranks some sort of legitimacy. That is why the people are at the top are called directors and others are called managers, associate this, blah, blah. But then in SCENTSY, you have the superstar director. Just imagine somebody introduces themselves to you. Hi, my name is Christina, and I'm a superstar director. You'd be like, what? What are you a director of? Of a fairy tale land? Of a kobold land? What is it? Those names are very, very strange. Either keep it very straightforward and try to create that connection to the real world where people can relate to those titles because they're known from the corporate world. Doesn't mean that they give them more legitimacy, but because you make that connection with the actual real job world, those names might cause you to believe that that person is more of importance than they actually are. But this superstar director title is just absolutely ridiculous. It is wild to me that they named the ranks like this.
The third paragraph down is what I really enjoyed it. She said, it simply came down to one thing. I partied, then booked parties off those parties, then booked parties off those parties. I met people. I didn't ask people to party. I asked them if they wanted to try and get their SCENTSY free and half off. Then I built relationships and took really good care of each customer. That was one piece. I thought it was such a good insight. Another piece is halfway down the next paragraph. She said this, we have to get into our cold market again. We have to meet new people. We have got to get ourselves back into the rhythm of getting people free and half off SCENTSY and teaching our teams and groups to do the same. There's such great insight into what she shared in kind of reflecting back. Today, the world has changed. The pandemic escalated even more so personal website orders. It escalated even the impact of social media. And while it has not left behind the party, there are more opportunities for you to use, but it is to get to our cold market, to meet new people, to introduce SCENTSY that have never heard of it before.
But we're missing a lot of context. This is somebody who was successful because they joined years ago, and this person is at the top rank, the superstar director rank in the company, because she was able to recruit a lot of people. You're not up there because you sell a lot of product, because you have a lot of customers. You must have a lot of recruits. And you always have to expand your network. You always have to talk to new people. But what were her advantages? She joined very likely years ago. She was able to recruit in a potentially untapped or almost untapped market. Most people didn't even understand what SCENTSY was. They just liked the collaboration with Disney and they liked the smelly things. But now, in this day and age, it's a bit different. There is a downward spiral for good reasons for network marketing companies because customers and distributors avoid network marketing companies. They've been burned by the pandemic. Customers say, oh, this is a network marketing company. No, I've heard enough about these. They're not good. I don't want to put money into this. There's more critical content about network marketing companies in this day and age than it was years ago when this person was very likely able to recruit a lot of people. While all of this always sounds so nice, in Monate they also said the same things. Well, why were we successful back in the days? Oh, because we had in-person events. We need to go back to that. Well, why were you able to have in-person events 8 years ago when you were able to recruit a lot of people? Because it was an untapped market for Monate. Most people didn't understand what Monate is. Now more people are aware of that. There's a lot of context that we're missing and they don't really speak about this. So let's put this into context, please, because otherwise this is not worth a lot.
And that's what we wanted to focus on. We also asked, as we were doing this research and data mining and finding out what it is that is most important and what our top consultants, our top performing consultants are doing, they came up with these other four characteristics that they focused on. This one, the first one, was the same one that we've already covered: non-consultant party hosts. Don't get hung up on party. It's really get-togethers. It's partnering with SCENTSY. It's finding non-consultant customers and friends that you're able to expand your SCENTSY business with. Number two, leverage the host rewards program. This, just to give you a little bit more insight, think of it this way. Yes, you should maximize your host rewards, no doubt, no question, but be deliberate about how you use those host rewards and giving that back to the host by helping other new customers experience new products and introduce them to new categories, but be deliberate about it to support the end goal in mind, which is to support your customers and new customers coming in. A couple of other options that I know our top recruiters do. They build genuine relationships. So much so that I remember a consultant, we even interviewed some of the consultant customers just to find out what are they doing that makes it so unique. We had one of the customers respond with, they provide so much care and support that they know our birthdays of the family. They know what we're going through. They know and follow up and are more of a friend than sometimes family are. And that if there's anything that I can do to support them in their business, I'll do it.
That is not a genuine relationship. That is a SCENTSY hunt trying to sell somebody a product to get commission or a new team member. If a SCENTSY consultant knows more about your worries than your family, then you need to get help. This is a business. This is a business connection. This is not genuine.
Talk about taking that to the next level. Okay, number four, using customer data strategically. Really quickly, this is something that as we enter in and focus on entering in customer data, we're able to enable you on following up with them, knowing how to tag and say, these are our Disney fanatics, or they just love Harry Potter collection. So anytime we come out with Harry Potter, we're able to go look at the data, and as the customer information is entered correctly, then you're able to follow up appropriately. Those were just four other areas that I know that we focused on and gathered from our top selling and recruiting consultants on what does well. Okay, let me take a breath here. I know that, and I keep saying it, but parties are important, but so are fairs and shows. So are our efforts on online and social media and other ways that you are building your business. Finding new customers is the solid connecting tissue that is critical to all of our success. And perhaps we forgot to do this during the pandemic, because during the pandemic, we would post online and customers came flocking and we could sell it so easily. But we do need to get back to expanding SCENTSY and expanding that customer base. And how are we going to do this? Yes, we need to show you how. Show your teams how. Yes, we need to train you how. Yes, train your teams how. But also very important is this is the singularity. This is the aligned approach that we all are going to jump on board with, that we are focusing on during this Zoom call, talking about the upcoming changes that I'm getting to here very, very soon, as well as World Tour that is only just a few weeks away. And as we set that up and get that rhythm and drumbeat, I know that the tide will rise and all ships, all consultants will benefit from it. Now it's at World Tour, not to give you any teasers or sneak peeks. I do know one thing. We're going to be introducing a new tool, a simple tool at World Tour to help you and your team members invite new people to experience SCENTSY. More to come on that in just a few weeks from now. At Leadership, we recommended a book.
Alter, this is unbelievable. Get to the point. The people are on this call because they're nervous, because they know there will be changes from SCENTSY. And so far, we've had a lot of fluff, and now we're opening a book club. Are you shitting me? This is so disrespectful to the people's time who are in SCENTSY, who are waiting and wondering what will the changes be and how will it affect my paycheck. This is so disrespectful.
You can see it here on the slide. It's called Renewal for Field Leaders. It's a book written by Brett Blake, happens to be a friend of SCENTSY, but it is a great book to help us understand what characteristics need to exist for a renewal or a turnaround. I talked earlier and shared numbers about what's happening with SCENTSY and new customers and how party order count is doubling, but we're not seeing that increase in new customers. And this book goes over and introduces these important concepts. So I'm going to share a video with you now that will introduce you to what that book and the themes are to make sure we have a similar foundation that we can speak to.
Every direct selling company follows a predictable life cycle. Launch, hypergrowth, growth by promotion, shakeout, and finally, decline or renewal. In Renewal for Field Leaders, author Brett Blake reveals how to navigate this journey successfully using the Chisel system, a powerful framework.
Is SCENTSY getting a cut from the sales of that book?
And understand why it matters for
They're not declaring it.
First is cash, the lifeblood of any
Are
business.
they opting for new cash flows? How to make more money in the company? We'll now recommend books to you, to our distributors.
Normal and healthy. Hope comes next. It's what drives your teams forward. Your team needs to believe that your company is their vehicle to success, not just today, but for years to come. As a field leader, nurturing this hope is one of your most crucial responsibilities. As Blake notes, field sales representatives need to have hope that the company is the vehicle that will allow them to reach their dreams, and that means it will be around and in demand years from now. Innovation isn't just about new products. True renewal often comes from fresh approaches to rewards, compensation, creative customer and consultant acquisition strategies, and embracing new technology.
If I were on this call, I would be out now. Well, I am on this
Simplification
call,
means creating predictability and eliminating
you know what I'm
unnecessary
getting
risks.
at.
Ask yourself, what can we stop doing? Remember, it's not about doing less.
Simplify, yeah, maybe simply get to the point of the presentation. What are the
Expansion doesn't always
changes?
mean new territories. Look deeper into your existing markets. Find untapped demographics. Build robust systems that anyone can plug into. Because great systems scale faster than great people. Finally, leadership ties it all together. Be present. Listen actively. Stay honest and hopeful. Help your team see the bigger picture, especially during challenging times. The path to renewal isn't about dramatic transformations. It's about methodical improvement across these 6 areas. Start with cash and hope as your fuel. Then let innovation, simplification, expansion, and leadership drive your journey forward. Ready to lead your team through renewal? Remember, chisel your way to success, one element at a time.
So we were talking about with our leaders, we wanted to make sure that there was a good place where we could build from. And this book by Brett Blake, I recommend it. It's called Renewal for Field Leaders, and it helps us come from a common ground. In there, it went through an acronym called CHISEL, or CHISEL. There happens to be one for a home office as well as this one is for field leaders. I'm not going to spend all the time focused on all of these acronyms, but there are 3 of them that are really important as we kind of go into the changes that SCENTSY just announced. The 3 letters that I wanted to focus on is C, cash, or SCENTSY, it feels like the right way to say is cash management. And if I looked at that and really applied it to SCENTSY Home Office, I would say that would be our stewardship of the financial health or resources that SCENTSY has to offer to provide fuel to support you and your businesses. This is our responsibility and the drivers of the overall business. Okay. Hope. H is the second letter that I would focus on. Hope. This one is your fuel for your teams. It is your responsibility as leaders, as sponsors, but also as individuals to have that hope. And you get that from either your upline or your upline director or your star director, superstar director, really to help your teams grow and thrive. Really to help yourself internally to think, okay, this is what SCENTSY is all about. And we're excited about the future. And you can lean on others to help you with this letter. The third letter is S for simplification. Now, this one, of course, SCENTSY, value of SCENTSY is simplicity. For this book and the use of S for simplification, it means creating predictability and eliminating unnecessary complexity. You would ask yourself, and make sure that you knew that simplification is not about doing less. It's about reducing surprises and making success more repeatable. Who does this apply to? It really applies to both you as a consultant and us at the home office, making sure that we are simply understandable, not complex, and not wasting efforts on things that aren't making a big difference to our business. Okay, let me move on. So that was kind of that foundational piece to help explain a little bit about where we're going to be coming from and the important characteristics for a renewal or a turnaround. Then it gets back to our 4 areas that are going to be the building blocks of momentum and of hope. New customer acquisition, customer engagement, new consultant acquisition, and consultant engagement. Given that this is not currently happening at a level that can sustain us today,
Get to the point, man.
we know
what are
that
the
we need
changes?
to make some changes. If we do not, it is very unlikely that our trajectory and our path doesn't change. It is unlikely that nothing else is going to happen. And that cause and gives us reason to change. In terms of renewal, our changes are going to focus on the areas that I mentioned in those 3 areas of cash management, our responsibility and stewardship, building hope, and have an emphasis on simplicity, or I guess in the book's term, simplification. We're going to go through these changes now. And I know that we already introduced them in a communications on the news tab, but this gives me an opportunity to be able to share with you a little bit more insight onto the reasons why. I'll start off with our product discontinuances. There are a few. The first one are car bars going away globally. The second one is travel twists going away globally. And the third one are the SCENTSY body products going away only in Europe and in Australia and New Zealand.
They're cutting out products out of the portfolio that are not doing well, that are very likely too high in production, and they need to simplify their product palette. That's what businesses have to do. Actual businesses, not the fake network marketing business owners who do not own the company. They need to cut down costs and cut out products that are not performing well. I'm going to cut a lot of the following stuff out because he's just walking through the different product categories that will not be available in SCENTSY anymore and why they're not available anymore. SCENTSY has to cut out products that are not performing well, and they need to focus on the products that actually still sell well.
If you don't know what I mean, let me give you a little look at how it displays in the catalog. This is what it looks like today. You can see that we have warmers under the SCENTSY system in Perfect SCENTSY. They start at $25 and have a certain number of bars and go up to 50 at $5 increments in the US currency. These categories create complexity in explanation to customers, as well as training to new consultants. The new discount structure dramatically simplifies the setup and provides far more flexibility into the future of what we can do with our bundles and saves. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take the bundle and save look that is pictured here and change it to our new bundle and save page that is pictured here. You can see that the categories have changed. We've made it much more simple and easier to understand. Let me go into this a little bit deeper because it's important. Let me first start off by saying, by now you probably have not seen that we have a buy 5, get 1 free SCENTSY bar bundle. That bundle and that singular bundle has been a cornerstone of our SCENTSY bundle and save program from the beginning, buy 5, get 1 free. While it's not in the catalog and it's not offered in the PWS, it is going to be offered as a consultant-only workstation bundle and save, like a secret menu. You're going to be able to offer it to your customers, creating relationships with you and being able to provide that deeper discount for the buy 5, get 1 bar. But it will not be in your personal website, only offered in the workstation. Now, you may need to know how to use it because if you don't use the product code of buy 5, get 1 free, then it won't apply the free bar.
Okay, so that perk will not go away. The bars are the most popular items in SCENTSY, and customers cannot just get their hands on buy 5 and get 1 free. They cannot just do that themselves on the website anymore. They have to reach out to a distributor now. I believe to have a closer connection between customer and company, so you need to get in contact with a distributor, which in my opinion is not helpful if you just want to get your hands on the products, but that's how they're going to do it now. Customers cannot order this perk anymore themselves. They have to reach out to a distributor, and the distributor has to then make sure that this happens in the back end because only they're able to give this 5+1 bundle.
Just like you do today. As you know, in your workstation, as you place an order, an individual order or a party order, you type in the product code for the buy 5, get 1 free SCENTSY bar. Enter in the 6 bars, and you will get that discount of buy 5, get 1 free. Okay, this is unique and only available through you as the consultant. And you're able to offer that as far as a discount, because while it's not printed in the catalog, it is something from home office pricing that you can share with others, not being a personal special, but something that only you as a consultant can offer to your customers. Okay, follow me so far? Let me keep going. Okay, other things that are happening. So I mentioned the buy 5, get 1 free in SCENTSY bars. That's going to continue, again, only on the workstation, not your pre-AWS, and not in the catalog. We're going to have a pick 6, save 10%. You know what products this applies to. This will be room sprays. It will be SCENTSY bars. It will be scent packs. It will be SCENTSY oils, and it'll be on scent pods. Okay, the twin packs. So on all of those products, as you buy increments of 6, you can get a 10% discount on those. No, you can't cross and choose one of these and 2 of those different product lines. It's got to be together. So it's 6 SCENTSY bars, 6 room sprays, 6 scent packs, or 6 oils, or 6 scent pods. And each increment of 6 will save 10%. Okay. There are 2 products that aren't 6. They are fragrance flowers. When you buy 3 of the fragrance flowers, you save 10%. And if you buy 2 Scent Circle 3 packs, you will save 10%. Okay. You're following me so far. The 4th area that I wanted to talk about, Laundry Love, Classic Clean, and Moisture Medley, will also continue on into the new catalog that starts the 1st of March. And you will also, from those product bundle and save names, will be able to save 10% as well. So as a customer enters in the items that qualify for Laundry Love, Classic Clean, or Moisture Medley, they will automatically get the 10% off.
So they have lowered the discount on the products. Now you have to pay more money to get less. Some of these were discounted for 15%, and now it has been simplified, but also it has been lowered to 10%, meaning the company is able to make more money because the customers and the distributors have to pay more if they want to get a bundle.
Okay, all right, let me keep going. SCENTSY systems and perfect SCENTSY systems will be discontinued. The new simplified bundles options will be offered at 10%. The first one displays on the screen. It's a warmer and 6 bars. It does exclude licensing warmers and bars. It does apply to all SCENTSY warmers and all SCENTSY bars, just not the licensed products. What do I mean by all? Well, let me explain. Warmers, we have 2 categories within warmers. We have full-size warmers and we have mini warmers, which means you can have 1 full-size warmer and 6 bars and save 10%, or you can have 1 mini warmer and 6 bars and save 10%. It applies to both. It applies to all pricing categories within any of our warmers that we have to offer. Simplified and simple, not being required to memorize the price level, or if that priced specific warmer is available in a bundle and save. Very simple. Let me go to the next one. The diffuser plus 6 oils. We have 2 types of diffusers. We have a premium diffuser and we have a deluxe diffuser. You add 1 diffuser and 6 oils, you're going to save 10%. Okay, pretty straightforward, pretty easy to follow. The next category is why I went through the new naming convention of SCENTSY Air, because we also have add a SCENTSY Air product and 6 of our pod twin packs, and you'll save 10%. Yes, it applies to all 6 of our categories of SCENTSY Air products. We're talking SCENTSY Air Purifier, we're talking SCENTSY Air Quad, SCENTSY Air Go, SCENTSY Air Mini, and SCENTSY Air Solo. I think I named them all 6 categories. You buy one of them and 6 pods, sets of pods, you're going to save 10%. Simple and easy and straightforward. I'm excited for these changes. They simplify it. The discounts are slightly different, yes, but we also made some changes to make it easier for you and your customers. So in addition to the upsell feature on your personal website, which is going to be updated to reflect these new bundle and saves.
It's not necessarily, though, to make it easier for the distributors and the customers. That way, the company can make more revenue and more profit because you need to pay more for those bundles.
It's also going to automatically apply the discount, reducing the confusion, reducing the need to go to your personal website, then under specials, and then going to go find the bundle and save section, clicking on those, and then building those products to get the discount. Instead, as your customers on your personal website, add the products to Moisture Medley or add the products for a warmer and 6-bar set. They will automatically get the 10% discount by crossing out the price and showing them they saved 10% and get the discount automatically, so that your customers no longer will be missing those discounts when they qualify for those discounts. That's one change we made. The second change we made is that we will also have auto bundling or automatic application of these bundle and saves at the cart level in the workstation. As you enter in a party order and you're adding products to the cart, and you're doing this by individual customers because you know if I enter in the customer data, then I will be able to get the information of what they ordered and I can follow up with them more effectively. that in our workstation, in those carts, we will have auto bundling, meaning you don't need to enter in the bundle and saves either. We will have that automatically done for you, with one exception. The one exception is the buy 5, get 1 free. That buy 5, get 1 free, you type it in, and then you enter in all 6 bars to get the 1 free. That's the one exception.
Why?
All other bundle and saves I just went through will be automatic in both the personal website for the customer and also for you as a consultant at the cart level in the workstation.
That is such an odd move. I do believe it is because it is the best seller, and that is why they want customers to connect closer to the distributors to then bind or connect the customers closer to the company. But it is so unpractical. They could just set that up in the back end that also happens automatically. It could be easy for the company, but they're not doing it, which is odd.
Easily applying the discounts to each cart and making sure that customers don't miss out on discounts that they get by using these bundle and save options. We know this change is going to be disruptive. We know that change kind of feels a little bit uncomfortable, but we are also confident that these changes move us in the right direction for the future. It modernizes our bundle and saves. And as we get through the change management of these, I know it's going to be easier to explain to customers. And I know it's going to be easier to train for new consultants coming in. Okay, that's all of our product changes. As you know, let me get to the next set of changes that you are also very aware of, and those are the activity and party tier changes coming up. As we discussed in our product offering, we have more products that are a different variety of pricing and offering than we've ever had before. When SCENTSY first started, we had, well, 1 or 2 warmer systems with simple pricing. At the beginning, we based our original party rules or party tiers and activity requirements on consultants having, you ready for this, a non-consultant host with 5 customers buying 5 warmers and bars. That's what the activity requirement was wrapped around and what the party tiers were built off of. Now, about 10 years or a little bit less than 10 years ago, warmer pricing had increased and bars had increased so much that the activity requirement and party tier also needed to increase to support the activity levels that would generate momentum. Remember the data numbers that I shared earlier? It showed that the total number of unique customers ordering through a consultant were declining. New customers coming in were declining, and yet average PRV per consultant remained the same, and total number of parties doubled. This is the result of increased either pricing or product categories that make it simple for an order to qualify as a party and doesn't support those activities that are crucial to building momentum, of finding new customers, engaging new customers, finding new consultants and engaging them as well. We are now at a point that we need to adjust that activity requirement and party tiers again. Starting March 1st, as you know, we are moving to 250 PRV as the required activity requirement. This is increasing from 200 PRV, and an important change in the efforts to start getting back to building momentum. I realize this is 50 more PRV that would be required to either stay current or to have a downline team member be an active consultant and qualify for those commissions. We realize that this is going to be a stretch. It is going to be more of an effort. And as I thought about this and thought about what characteristics or what behavior change do we expect to come from it, is yes, it's going to be harder compared to 200. And in fact, if I asked all consultants, I'm sure people would say they would prefer it to stay at 200. But as we ask consultants and you to stretch a little bit more, you may need to find another customer. You may need to follow up a little bit more with previous customers to get that one more product or a few more products ordered, which creates the ability to increase the number of customers potentially ordering, which means you have more SCENTSY products in front of them to experience and to enjoy the fragrance in their homes, which creates a more likely of a scenario where they may have that aha moment of being able to see you and say, I want to partner with SCENTSY. I want to do what you do, which will increase the number of recruits we get at SCENTSY, and their engagement and that hope and that momentum is built. That's why we're changing it from 200 PRV to 250 PRV.
They're changing it because they need to make more money. And this is really something that did infuriate a lot of the consultants, because they said, hey, it is already so hard to get 200 PRV, that is the personal retail volume, because it is so difficult to sell the products. And now this has been up to 250 PRV, and to me it looks like it's really a slap in the face of the distributors. This is the compensation plan for Germany, for example, but it is the same all over the world. You have the same requirements, and you can see that the first rank is an essential consultant. An essential consultant gets 20 20% of the products they sold. And then at the second rank, they have what they call a certified consultant. Once you're able to sell 1,000 PRV, you were guaranteed that for life, you were what they call certified, that you were able to get 25% commission off of the products that you sell. And according to their own compensation plan, you were certified for life. And that has now changed because a certified consultant, a lead consultant, a star consultant, a superstar consultant, a director, a star director, and a superstar director, they need to up their PRV now to 250. Otherwise, they will not get paid the 25%. They will only get paid the 20%. Meaning the certification for life, which is not a real certification, is not valid anymore. You're not able to, because at some point you hit the 1,000 PRV, you're able to get 25% commission. Now you might fall down to 20% in those times when you're not able to sell 250 PRV, meaning this is being cut away from the distributors who are not able to reach 250 PRV. And of course, the distributors are outraged because they said it's really hard to sell the products. And now you want us to sell more so that we can continue to get the same percentage, the same commission we were promised that we could keep for life. So they're backing down on that. Nothing is for life anymore in SCENTSY.
There's changes related to this that I wanted to explain. Know that our party tiers are going to change to match as well. Party tiers are based off of subtotals in local currency, depending on which country you live in. The charts that I'm using here today are only in US dollars, but I know that we have communicated out the different amounts for the different currencies. So please bear with me as I share US currency numbers as we've increased the starting point of a new party. So all parties, the first tier will be going from, in US dollars, from $200 to $250. We will still have our other tiers. Tier 2 will start at $400, Tier 3 at $600, and Tier 4 at $1,000. No change in host rewards percentages or half price items. No changes there. That will continue and move up with a new tiered mark.
And that shows yet again, you need to sell more at those parties. The first one being 250 and not 200 anymore if you want to have those party host rewards so that the company can make more money because they're struggling.
One point that I want to make out, where there is free shipping at Tier 2, there is still free shipping at Tier 2. It's just at that $400 US dollar mark. So that free shipping still is maintained, and you just have to continue to hit that Tier 2 to receive that free shipping. Connected to the new activity level are the monthly sales award bonus threshold. This will also be changing. For those that know this, you know that if you hit 2,000 PRV in one calendar month, you get a 5% bonus in your sales, taking you from 25% on your PRV to 30% on your PRV. That number is also increasing from 2,000 to 2,500 PRV. Interestingly enough, and you should know this, and I bet many of you do, this puts you on the path to achieving the annual sales award. By hitting 2,500 in 12 months on average over the SCENTSY Awards calendar, you can earn the annual sales award and be recognized on SFR and receive a financial reward as well. So that one is also moving from 2,000 to 2,500. Now we have one final change to discuss, and let me get to that. With the activity requirement changing from 200 to 250, we also took a very long look at our cancellation policy. Currently it states, and you know this already, so right now you need, or your downline team member needs, at least one 200 PRV month in the last 4 to make sure that you maintain your team. Or you hit 200 PRV in one of the last 12 months to stay current at SCENTSY and not be canceled. That number is going from 200 to 250. Okay, so that will continue to be a requirement at 4 months or at 12 months to hit 250 in one of the calendar months out of the last 4 or the last 12. This is something that we continue to do because it's important that we want to establish a community that if people want to be part of SCENTSY, they need to have at least 250 PRV to stay current with SCENTSY. The people that I'm talking to may be more hobbyists. They may be those that love SCENTSY products and use it for personal use. We realize that. Similar to what I said before, it will be more difficult.
That is so disrespectful. That is something that the top people in the company also do just because they recruited the most people. If you recruit your customers who are just interested in the products and then you invite them into the consultant program, because that way they can get their hands on the products first and they can make usage of the perks you have as a distributor. But now they're being degraded to hobbyists. So you do not deserve to make money anymore. That sounds beautiful. That is really ridiculous.
But as we stretch, and as we've talked about with increased prices on our products and the variety of products at the higher base point, we know this will encourage behavior that will help create momentum at SCENTSY at all levels. They are part of the SCENTSY family, and I don't discredit any of that. And we hope to support them any way we can from the home office.
But you do exactly that, Dan. You do exactly that.
Leaders and from upline sponsors as well, as we all want to play a part of that to contribute to SCENTSY and to the SCENTSY family. Now, while we looked at it and we were looking at the cancellation policy of 12 months, we've built in this behavior at SCENTSY that consultants with downline team members sometimes would follow up with a kind of a harsh reminder to their downline team member that may be canceled or coming up on one of those 4-month or 12-month marks, and they are needed to put a 250 PRV order in. And that follow-up tend to revolve around, do this so you don't get canceled or so you don't lose your team. That follow-up was a hammer, that follow-up was a stick. We came up with the 250 to change how we can motivate our team members in a positive way to make an impact to them. So what we did is we made one other change. As of March 1st, Essential Consultant will now be a rank.
The changes will be due April 1st. Like I said, there has been an update ever since he had that call. But once again, I come back to the point that only 25% of your consultants in SCENTSY are active. Then maybe you shouldn't have recruited your customers. If 75% are inactive and do not order regularly and do not want to recruit and do not want to be involved in the system, then you should just have a good customer service program and not recruit the people who just want to get the products.
Meaning any consultant that is certified or above who is not active in a calendar month, meaning doesn't hit 250 PRV in a calendar month or more, they will be paid at a 20% commission for that month. For those that hit over or above 250 PRV in a calendar month who are certified or higher will earn 25% commissions. Okay, so let me say that one more time. Essential Consultant is now going to be a paid at rank for all consultants across all countries that are certified title or above. As long as your PRV is 250 or above, you will get 25% commissions.
So you will have to get 50 more PRV now regularly, otherwise you will only get 20% commission and not 25. You have to do more to keep the same level of compensation.
Any month that it's below 250 PRV, it will be 20% commissions. Okay, this is what it looks like to make sure we are speaking the same language. The one bit that we are looking forward to see the behavior change and the reasons why team members or leaders follow up with their downline, frontline members is this. This now gives you and all sponsors a reason to reach out monthly to those on their way to 250 to let them know and encourage them to hit 250 PRV for an extra 5% bonus in their PRV commissions. Rather than the threat of cancellation every 12 months, this is a monthly follow-up that you can follow up with a carrot, with something that they can strive to achieve to earn that extra 5%. We believe this change will drive more activity as your team members strive to reach higher PRV. We believe as you stretch yourself to hit that new 250 level, you will introduce SCENTSY to more customers.
He makes it sound almost as if he's doing his distributors a favor. Now you need to do more, and that way you can also get more commission. But this is really a slap in the face for most of the people in the company. It is not a positive thing. They have to do more to get essentially the same. And if they fail, they will get less.
That it will eventually lead to more recruits and more team members that will be these fundamental building blocks to momentum in SCENTSY in the future. Now, I covered a lot today. I hope it gave you more context to the communications that were sent out. I hope that I was able to answer a lot of the questions that came in either through Facebook or through chat. I've been able to capture a lot of that feedback and help to understand the reasons behind the decisions that were made. I know that change is difficult. And I know that we'll continue to watch this and continue to focus on this and continue to support this as we build this momentum together and as we focus on those 4 key areas here in 2025. It all starts with new customer acquisition. And I know it's going to take hard work. I know it's going to take grit. I know it's going to take this tenacity. It's going to take all of us to do this. I love this quote. It says, Remember, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, you go together. SCENTSY Home Office is not going anywhere. We are here to support you. We are doubling down on the fundamental principles of direct selling to help you to support your team, to be your best self, to be part of the SCENTSY community, and to be able to create an environment where you can flourish. We are here to support you. We love you. I hope that this Zoom call has been helpful. Share it with your others, share it with your team. Give us your feedback. We want to listen. We want to turn the ship around and build this rhythm and momentum that creates so much hope and excitement that you want to shout and share SCENTSY with everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. We love you. Take care. And we will see you soon at World Tour.
This really caught a lot of SCENTSY distributors off guard, and they're not happy with the company. And understandably so. Beachbody tried to do something very similar. And where is Beachbody now? They're a purely affiliate-based model. They've shut down the recruitment-based model, and I do not know if SCENTSY will be able to turn this around. I don't think so. It looks like they haven't done a lot of changes over the past 10 years, and now they're trying to do everything at the same time. I do believe that SCENTSY is one of the next companies that will either shut down or go full retail or will go on an actual affiliate sales-based model that will shut down the recruitment model. That is why they're currently focusing so much on getting new customers and new eyes from new customers onto the company, and they don't seem to be focusing that much anymore on the distributors. Now, this call had an effect on lots of people, and in upcoming videos, I will show you what an effect it had on the people that are not at the top of the company. The people that are pretty much just distributors because they wanted to get the products and they wanted to get certain perks connected to that. And it's not really what the company wanted to happen, I think, because the people are getting more and more critical. And then in another upcoming video, we will take a look at one of the top distributors and what they're doing. Surprise, they're gaslighting their teams into believing that these changes are great because they need to hold on to their very own teams. So I found that really interesting. SCENTSY is the next MLM that is struggling, and I'm all here for it. And I do hope that the SCENTSY distributors will start to wake up and they will actually start to track their finance to understand how much money they have been pushing into the system that is now paying them less and less and less and is giving them less and less perks. So stay tuned for upcoming videos about SCENTSY as well, what impact this announcement had on other distributors. And let's take a look, just to really finish this off, at the German income disclosure statement, because it shows very clearly that SCENTSY is not necessarily a success story. In Germany in 23, this is their income disclosure statement, unfortunately not split up by ranks. The minimum annual commission in group 1 and 2 was $0. Group 1 is the group of people who were in the company for 12 months. Group 2 for those who were not in the company for 12 months. So those were people who freshly joined the company. The number of consultants in Germany in 23 was 2,959 in group 1 and 3,059 in group 2. So it's a smaller group of people, but the maximum annual commissions, the person that got paid the most in Germany, that is the person who's very likely at the tippity top, was 284,480 euros. And the person in group 2 that made the most money was 12,593,000 euros. The median annual commissions is the most telling, and it shows you that SCENTSY is not doing well and that most distributors actually struggle to make somewhat of an income, and these changes will be even harder on them because in group 1, those who were in the company for 12 months and longer, the median annual commissions was 499 euros, and in group 2 it was 89 euros. That is not a lot. That is not a lot of money, and those people will be affected most. They will make less commission, and it will be pricier for them to get their hands on the actual products. So stay tuned for further videos. I think that is really interesting. We're seeing another network marketing company struggling, and if you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up. Comment something down below, share, like the video, all of that helps. If you like the channel, then please subscribe. That also helps the channel out a lot. And if you like these types of videos, then hopefully I will see you in my next one. Until then, tschüss!